What's going on, everybody? My name is Ian Walker. I am the, I don't want to say creator, but I'm the host of the Rising Legends podcast. I am an avid role player, tabletop RPGs. I've been playing for, over 12 years just about. Playing my first tabletop RPG, playing Gamma World, Buck Rogers. Then slowly moving on to Dungeons and Dragons. Those are my main ones right now. I'm always in development. I'm an artist, so I create characters as a DM. I've created characters, run campaigns, drawn all the characters for all the characters in my campaigns that I run, and even drawn my own characters and things of that nature. So, yeah. There are some videos already on here on my YouTube page where you see some of the sessions that I've run with a few of my friends, and so what this is me giving a shot to solo role play. I've been looking to figure out a way to do solo role playing for a while. I know it's something that is in the genre for kind of starting to get a little bit more popular, especially with the advent of COVID, things like that. With people not being able to play as much in person, or if people are unable to play, at a specific time, even if they can't play remotely, they are left without a game. So solo role playing is an option that has always been out there. I've been kind of tweaking it, figuring out how I want to go about it, looked at different systems, looked at Scarlet Heroes, Iron Sworn, things like that. And so I think I've come up with something, and I'm going to try it. It's going to be trial and error thing. I will be running Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition, this solo role-playing campaign. And we're going to start from bare bones. So I'm going to roll my character up. You guys are going to see me do all of that live. And we're going to get it cracking. It's going to be a couple videos in the series. So I appreciate you. In advance, I want to tell you guys I apologize if I sound a little crazy. Would you believe it? It took 2.5 years, but I finally got that COVID. I finally got COVID. So I'm just sitting here creating, sitting here getting better, resting up, and I'm feeling a little bit better. So that's why I decided, you know what, I got all the time in the world. Why don't I just go ahead and do the content I've been wanting to do for a while as far as role playing is concerned, and then you guys can see that. So not only on my channel, I'm not only going to be doing solo content, solo role playing content. I am also creating a productivity role playing game, and I would like to take you guys through that journey as well. I've been developing that game also for about 2 years, and so. I'm in different phases of it right now. It's very close to what I call the alpha phase, which is selecting certain people to be able to test out the game, see how it runs, see how it goes. And yeah, so once I come up with some solid rule sets for that, I'm going to go ahead and roll that out to a select group of people. So I'm going to be doing that process too with everyone, and hopefully you guys will enjoy that content as well, and hopefully bring awareness to my project. So anyways, I'm going to stop talking. I'm going to regret this later on, talking as much as I am, but it's all good. We're gonna do this together. All right, guys, so we're here at D&D Beyond. I made another character sheet. I started doing this, and I decided that I was like, you know what? Why don't I go ahead and make some content for this? So I stopped before I got too far, and we're gonna start from there. So I am creating a character named Olynn Dagwood. He is going to be a human mage or human wizard, mage, whatever. How I'm going to advance this story is through milestones. The theme of this is Olynn is a Well, it takes place on a homebrew world that I created called Itzalan. It's a land where humans have landed on this planet, traveled through the Infinitus Rift, and um, found the planet of Itzalan, and they have landed there. It is a beautiful, beautiful planet, but it is also very, very hostile as far as wildlife, creatures, and things of that nature. It's very habitable for humans, but the type of creatures that are there, um, you know, almost make it to where it's almost nearly uninhabitable just on that basis alone. But the planet is rich in resources of all kinds. There's a lot of opportunities. So they've taken their technology and they have landed here on this planet, made a home for themselves here. The people here have created lives for themselves. It's the same basic thing you will find in Dungeons and Dragons. You got shopkeepers, you got soldiers, you got things like that. But main, the main, the main characters, the heroes in the world of Itzalan are the hunters. These are think Monster Hunter for you gamers out there. Combine, I guess you want to say, some Jurassic Park, Pokemon, Ghostbusters type thing with, a Monster Hunter. You fuse all that together with some sci-fi ships and stuff like that. That's Rising Legends. That's one of the worlds of Rising Legends is Itzalan. So the hunters are popular people. Everyone wants to become a hunter. That's a lot of people's livelihood. It's realistic goal because the land out there is so rich with resources, and the monsters out there. They provide the creatures out there. They provide certain things that they need to survive and things like that. So, and people can earn a very, very wonderful living being a hunter. And they are renowned. But yeah, people who do regular jobs too. They're fishermen. You got fishermen, shopkeepers, cooks, blacksmiths. You got all that stuff there. So that still fits in the realm of D&D. The races in the game too still apply. The only difference is that there is a homebrew race that I created called the Tybran, which are pretty much anthropomorphic humanoids. For those of you who play D&D, think of a Luxodon. That would be considered to be a Tybran in my world because the different types, animal types, they exist. They are much more rare on this world, though. There's another world that I have, another homebrew world. They're much more common. Here, they are extremely rare. You don't see them as much here, but they do exist. For the sake of this game, Olynn Dagwood is a human being. So that's what I'm going to go with. The advancement type is going to be milestone. Olynn Dagwood is more of, I decided to create this story that is more like he's like a detective, sort of. He's a guy that goes and investigates various situations. He helps the people in his own way. He's just now kind of getting his footing. He wanted to make himself separate from, everyone else who wants to be a hunter or have that fame. He wants to be famous in another way for helping people. So this is how he goes about doing that. So sometimes he'll help the law of the land. At times he'll do his own personal things. Sometimes he'll go and solve problems for other people. You guys familiar with the Equalizer? That's kind of Olynn Dagwood kind of is like. He's kind of like an Equalizer type of character. So the hit point type is going to be manual. I like to roll my hit points. I don't like the system to give me hit points automatically. I like the chance that goes into that because if I get a good roll, I get more hit points. If I don't, I don't. So I like that personally. I like to play with no encumbrance. This is a fantasy game. I'm not going to weigh myself down with physics and all that stuff, unnecessary parts of physics. And I have a way of getting that taken care of actually, but you know, that'll happen in game. Excuse me. So human, we know that humans have, anybody who plays 5e knows that they have a racial trait which allows them +1 to all their ability scores, and they get to learn an extra language. I chose an Elvish in this case. I'm gonna probably get him to roll that later. Okay. So hit points first level are 1d6 per wizard level. So 6 plus my constitution modifier. We need to. So my proficiencies, I decided to go with history and investigation. This takes place. This game takes place about 100 years after they landed on the planet. So part of the phone in the background, unedited, raw. You know, we go keep it raw and live. Saving throws, intelligence and wisdom, history and investigation. That's what I chose as his proficiencies. So anytime he comes across something that he needs to learn or figure out, he's going to get some help. I like to manually, again, I like to manually roll my dice. I don't like to have, I don't like this, you know, rolled out for me, given to me. I hate the point buy. I don't like it. This helps me feel like I'm controlling my own destiny. So what I do when I roll here, we're going to add a group here. As I say, delete groups. Delete group. Confirm. Oh, I guess I get to roll the group here. I've never done that before. There it is. It's 12. So remember, when we are on D&D, we roll 4d6. All right, so now let's roll the next set of dice here. For the next stat there, we're going to roll there, 15. That's good. I like that. Okay. I'm going to go to with the next one here. And remember, the dice takes away the lowest roll here, which is why that's grayed out there. So 16, 11, 12, and finally, ooh, all twos, man. Jeez, 9. Okay. So I like these rolls actually. I think they're very good rolls, honestly. 4 out of, let's see. You know, all above 10. I think they're pretty decent rolls. We know that intelligence needs to be the highest, so we're going to place that there. I'm going to do that. I'm going to make my wisdom a 15. I'm going to take one of these 12s and make that charisma, because I do want to be able to talk to people and get information out of them if I need to. Then the next 12, I'm going to put into Constitution with Squishy. Wizards of Squish. So I need as much Constitution as I can. Dexterity will go ahead and be at 11 and Strength at 9. I'm going to go ahead and apply those ability scores there. And again, with our modifiers, they knock our stats up by 1, which makes it even better. So you guys can see it here. The strength went up to 10, dexterity went up to 12, constitution to 13, intelligence is at 17, wisdom is at 16, and charisma is at 13. Now, those are really, really good stats. I'm very pleased with these. Okay. So we'll go ahead and continue. So background is something on here. I don't really use that, but I know some of these have certain traits that are pretty important. So what I'm gonna do, I don't think they have them here in there. We'll pull up my iPad. I think for this game, I think I am gonna go ahead and pick a background, only because I think for this, it'll I think it'll help me out. Part of me wants to say folk hero, because of who Olynn is. He is a hero of the people. He wants to help the peeps. So we're gonna see here. Let's see here. I wish this came out with your folk hero. You come from humble social rank, but destined for so much more. Already the people of your home regard you as their champion, and your destiny calls you to stand against the tyrants and monsters that threaten the common folk everywhere. You know, that's pretty good. Skill proficiencies are animal handling and survival, though. Those are more for rangers. He's not a ranger. So let's go through and see. Criminal spy. Let's see. You're an experienced criminal with a history of breaking the law. You spent a lot of time among other criminals and have contacts with the criminal underworld. You're far closer than most people to the world of murder, theft, and violence that pervades the underbelly of civilization. You've survived up to this point by flouting rules and regulations of society. if criminal spy wasn't so black and white, I'd probably go with that one. Guild, artisan, guild, merchant. You are a member of an artisan's guild, skilled in a particular field and closely associated with other artisans. You are a well-established part of the mercantile world, freed by talent and wealth from the constraints of a feudal social order. You learn your skills as an apprentice to master artisan under the sponsorship of your guild until you become a master in your own right. Skill proficiencies, insight, and persuasion. That's interesting. But see, they have me wanting to build stuff. As far as Olynn's story, he could be an artisan of some sort. Who knows? Let's go noble. Let's take a look at that. You understand wealth, power, and privilege. You carry a noble title, and your family owns land. You might be pampered aristocrat, unfamiliar with working as comfort, a former merchant just elevated to the nobility, or disinherited scoundrel with a disproportionate sense of entitlement. Or you could be an honest, hardworking landowner who cares deeply about the people who live and work on their land, keenly aware of your responsibility to them. Persuasion. I like the persuasion here, but noble is still not going to be what I'm looking for. Let's take a look at Outlander. You grew up in the wilds. He is not a wild boy. And see, a lot of these backgrounds is the reason why I don't usually use these a lot. I know they come with proficiencies, but if folk hero wasn't about animal handling, I probably would have done that. Let's go with noble, because I really need that persuasion proficiency. And it looks like I get to add another one. Now, I'm not looking to create the most ultimate, stat heavy dude. I am just simply creating a character for the sake of a story. And so I am choosing traits and abilities that are going to show that. Okay. Now, Dagwood is a bit of a gentleman. He is a gentleman. So, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna have him carry dice. He likes to roll around dice every once in a while. When he's thinking, he'll just roll his dice. He's not for no particular reason. It just helps him to think. You know. Let's go with another language for him to learn. So we are going to go with Dwarvish. Okay, it says position of privilege, background feature, suggested characteristics. Okay, this is a personality trait. My eloquent flattery makes everyone I talk to feel the most wonderful and important person in the world. The common folk love me for my kindness and generosity. No one could doubt by looking at my regal bearing that I'm cut above the unwashed masses. Despite my noble birth, I do not place myself above other folk. We all have the same blood. I will say we're going to add that personality trait. Common folk love me for my kindness and generosity. Ideals. Respect is due to me because of my position, but all people, regardless of station, deserve to be treated with dignity. I think I like that. You're going to go with that. Bonds. Like the common folk must see me as a hero of the people. I don't like any of these bonds here. I don't think I'm going to choose a bond. None of those things apply. A flaw. I had a truly scandalous secret that would ruin my family forever. I will change that to ruin my reputation. I don't quite know what that flaw is going to be. But we'll figure that out later. I will get into physical characteristics later when you're doing this online. You can create, your own. You can get as detailed as you want to. I'm focusing on creating the character right now. So that's what we're going to do. So we're going to choose our equipment as a wizard, a quarterstaff, pouch, an explorer's pack. What is a scholar's pack? Book of lore, bottle, ink and ink pen, sheets of parchment paper. I'm going to go with a scholar's pack. Spell book, set of fine clothes, a signet ring. The signet ring is going to signify the organization that he belongs to. And I will come up with that later. Okay. A purse containing 25 gold pieces. We're going to add starting equipment. He always has his quarterstaff on him. Oh, stuff there. Stuff there. I'm going to equip that. Other possessions, add items. All right, we're not going to airship. Adventuring gear. Flying characters can move from one place to another in a relatively straight line. Wow. I can get some of that later. Okay. All right, we're going to. So I'm going to start with 25 gold pieces in the game here. And we look good. All right, guys, look at this. Olynn Dagwood. All right, level 1 human wizard. Yes, 13 hit points. when a Constitution turned that 12 to a 13. He has +1 to initiative and a +2 proficiency bonus, which is nice. Armor class 11, not bad. Still, that is pretty bad. He's squishy. This passive wisdom is 13, passive intelligence 15, passive wisdom is 15. So he's going to notice everything. And what I'm going to do later on, as I gain in level, we're going to go into some other classes here. So that's gonna be nice. It's gonna be really nice. I didn't think about I didn't think, so because of me not thinking. This means I didn't have I didn't charge my phone. I mean my iPad. So my iPad with all my gaming info is not on here. All right. So this is where we're at. Again, pardon me, guys. Your boys got that Rona. Let's change this. Let's change this picture. Under dark mode. I don't want under dark mode. Oh, it's the current one. Okay, D&D red. Go. I'm gonna go with that photo right there. Olynn Dagwood. Okay. Okay, that kind of looks like me too. All right, guys. So here we are. We've created the character sheet. We are ready to go. I mean, these bonuses are incredible. I like to put my main stats up at the top and then the bonuses at the bottom. That's just a personal preference. You guys don't have to do the same thing, but that's what I like to do. So what I'm going to be doing is using before I start the game, I'm going to be using a variety of different resources. I follow a lot of role players and role-playing assets on Instagram, and I found that they have a lot of wonderful tables and a lot of wonderful plot hooks there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to choose one of the plot hooks on one of the pages that I see here, and utilize that as a starting case or situation for Dagwood. So yeah, so get ready for that. So for other questions as far as solo role playing, so like I said, I use those tables for that. I utilize tables a lot. I'm going to be utilizing tables a lot. If I come across a difficult decision that needs to be made, well, just in general, when I make a decision, instead of always defaulting to an emulator, which I think sometimes can hold up the progression of a game, I've instead decided to use percentage dice. So this is it is kind of like an honor thing. So pretty much how that's going to go is I'm going to roll a D100. So just say, for instance, Olynn comes is skulking around a mansion of some sort. He finds a door down at the end of the hallway. It's a wooden door, and he sees if there is any kind of if it has any anything with nanites. Oh, by the way, magic is not in my game. Magic doesn't exist. Nanites are different. So anything with arcana, things like that, that's what I would check, but it wouldn't be magic per se. It's just the nature of the world, how the world operates. So if he sees nanite energies in that, he will, of course, use his Arcana check for that. Do that. But if he needs to make a decision, for instance, he makes the roll to go inside of the door, and he goes in, and the decision is, so I see a book on the table. Part of me wants to open it, right? Ian wants to open the book. Dagwood, however, is smart. He won't open it. So what I like to do in that case is then what I'll do is I'll roll, because what this does is it keeps you away from metagaming, because in your mind, you know, when you're doing a solo story, you're kind of running it in your own head. Sometimes you can metagame yourself into a corner, I believe. So doing the percentage situation, it will allow you to make that decision. So you don't metagame yourself. The dice still make the decision. It's not just you railroading yourself or anything like that. So there's a book on the desk there that stands out above everything else. Ian wants to pick it up, but Dagwood's like, I'm going to leave that alone. So what we're going to do, we're going to roll 100. And we come to exactly 50%. So 50% and under, I open the book. 50% or over, we leave the book alone. So with that 50% being rolled, Dagwood goes over, sees it, thinks for a moment, so I'm not just leave it alone, but something is itching at him for him to go get the book. And he makes his way behind the desk, and he looks at the book, and it's a beautiful red book. And at this point, I keep going with my imagination, just kind of figure it out. If you're coming up with things and you don't know what color you want something to be, I like a blue book, I like a red book. If you can't decide, utilize your percentage dice, or utilize your dice, period. If you have 6 colors, if you have 3 colors, if you have 4 colors, try to do as little as possible so that you're not having to make too many decisions. Red, blue, yellow, and green. So one is green, 2 is red, 3 is blue, 4 is orange. Let's roll and find out. So 2. So it's a blue book. It's a blue book. Has a lot of beautiful ornate designs on it. And he goes and opens the book. And when he opens the book, he finds whatever he finds. Now, this is a time when I can open the book and decide to use one of the tables in the Scarlet Heroes books, or whatever. Or if my imagination is just going and it's just creating the story, I can do that. But when it comes to a decision, it's very important that you utilize the dice so as not to metagame yourself. We don't know what's in the book. We don't know what's in there. So so you got, ask those questions when I open the book. Is it something in relation to the case that I'm running? 50% or under says it is. 50% or over says it does not. Okay. So in this case, 13% or under most definitely has something to do with the case. Okay. So what is it? What is it? Okay. So, then that's when you go back to your original case. What could it be? And you keep playing it in that way. I'm trying to keep it as simple as possible, using the percentage as a tool for that. For anything more complex, then that's when I will go into the tables in the Scarlet Heroes or whatever tables that I have. So I hope that answers some of the questions. With this video, I just wanted to roll up a character and give you a little bit of insight on how I do the solo role play. If you guys have any further questions, please hit me up in the comments below. Don't hesitate to ask me. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions, please also let me know. If you like what you've seen today, please hit the subscribe button below and spread the word. Tell people about Rising Legends. And we're going to go into part 2 of Dagwood. All right. So thank you so much, guys. Talk to you later.